I'm sorry about that, guys. I had to quickly pop in here because I forgot on my last two readings to tell you guys that if you guys have any comments that go towards me, or if you want me to read on anybody specifically, you're going to have to put the name Baby Crone, so that way when both me and Lady Crone are reading the comments, we know who do you guys want Baby Crone to read on, or who do you guys want Lady Crone to read on. And so that way you guys can get the readings from who you guys choose and desire from. So please do that. If there's any readings that you would like me to read on K-pop, or even somebody in their 20s, please say, Baby Crone, read on this person, or hey, Baby Crone, I want you to read on, and I will respond. Please and thank you. And with that being said, I hope you guys, that was my quick little PSA to come in and jump in real quick because I did forget to say that. So, all right, bye. Well, hello there, everyone, and how are you guys on this beautiful day? Yes, 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 it is the summer. It is officially summer. Hey! All right, well, here it is an excessive heat warning as well as an air quality alert. So that tells you how how the summer's kicking off here on the East Coast. But forget about that. Let's enjoy some K-pop. Now, who am I going to be talking about today? Well, a subscriber, specifically Jasmine Lucas, they want to know about Jisoo and Jung Haeun, or Hyun. I'm not sure how you pronounce their name. I feel like beforehand we have read on them before, because I think somebody like maybe a year or two ago, because according to when I just looked up their two names, the TV show Snowdrop popped up from 2021. And I feel like I remember somebody asking us about a reading if they were in a relationship. And if I'm not mistaken, she was not in a relationship with Jung Hae. She was in a relationship with his best friends. However, apparently Jisoo has broken up and is no longer in a relationship with Jung Hae's best friend. So I guess Jasmine wants to know if Jung Hae and Jisoo have a relationship, a connection together. Let's see what's going on with these two, because I couldn't find any articles of them being together. However, I take it that they still must be friends or close, because if you're going to be dating like my best friend and we were co-workers together and I hang out with my best friend, I'm probably going to see you too, Jisoo. And if they had good chemistry on camera too, who knows? Especially because she hasn't also re-signed with YG. So therefore, she's no longer a part of Blackpink. That means she could be going forth in her music career, or maybe she's really taking the role of acting. I'm really going to have to watch Snowdrop because I would like to see Jisoo act. She just has that good K-drama face to her, if you know what I mean. She just looks like she would be a star in that. Jisoo, my Jisoo. Okay. So here we go. I'm going to pick out a card to represent Jisoo. Oh, the songbirds. How fitting. And then for Jung Hae, we're going to pick the Death card. Okay. And let's see what the block is between the two of them. A woman. Okay, interesting. Maybe there could have been some relationship that Jisoo and Jung Hae had together, because this would be the only reason to explain this block card now. Because for a scorned woman, or just a woman, to be a block card, it could be the fact that, I mean, who knows? And she hasn't been that separated that long. I think they like broke up in like December, or maybe sometime towards the end of last year. So maybe she could still be getting over her heartbreak or ending of her relationship with his best friend. Or if they did have I'm reading on their relationship now. So what I see now is that this card is going to represent Jisoo, or maybe there could really just be another person in the mix that he has his eye on. If Jisoo's trying to be that pretty attractive songbird that's trying to get his attention by being colorful and chippy chirpy and beautiful. But we have the death card right here, which symbolizes that he's like not like dead to Jisoo, but the fact that whatever he maybe had for Jisoo in the past, those feelings have died. And he's more in the long of the lines of seeing her as a friendly companion now, rather as a person to date. Maybe it could be bro code. Hey, you date my best friend. I'm not going to date my friend's exes. You know, it could be that kind of sentiment. So whatever I see here is that we have Sunblock, which is a woman. So let's see if we can go out and find a little bit deeper what's going on around them. So on Jisoo's side, we have the clouds. It's just not looking good for Jisoo or Junghae. I'm going to put a card on Junghae's side to see what's going on with him. We have the child card. Okay. And let's see what's going on above their head. We have the tree. Okay. And let's just see what's underneath. This anchor and stability. Wow. Okay. Definitely, if there is I definitely don't see a relationship whatsoever with them, or even them trying to get along, because it's just negative cards around them. On Jisoo's side, we have the clouds, which symbolizes confusion and stress. So does the birds and the songbirds. Maybe people here, like this reader this person wanted to know about Jisoo and Junghae. There was a lot of conversation and chit chat around about them. And because of that, Jisoo could be a little bit more affected by that. Like, man, I can't even have a friend of the opposite sex without somebody thinking we're friends. And at the same time, in K-pop, you know how dating is like a taboo thing. So the fact that she has even left her company, or the fact that we even knew she was in a relationship, is a very big thing. And because of that, doing that does tend to put a little bit of more attention on you. And because of that, now that she has entered into the dating world, that has flooded in even more people to be like, oh my God, is she dating? Is she dating? Is she dating this person? Is she dating that person? So, you know, what happens when you become open and public with your relationships, the public gets involved in it, and it can weigh you down, get you confused, have you feel stressed out, or maybe even feeling stormy, like, feeling like upset and rumbling inside, because it could be frustration because people are shipping her with people that she's just close friends with and things like that. And for him, on his side, we have the child card, which symbolizes the fact that he's just living his life. You know how, symbolically what a child means. It represents innocence. Not innocence in that sense, because we are talking about grown people, but innocence in the fact that his love and energy is pure, a very kind-hearted guy, but also at the same time, somebody who has maybe even nurtured that inner child within himself. So therefore, he's able to be a bit more responsible and be able to tend to what specific needs this child could need within him. So because of that, like I said, the death card was here. First off, let's just talk about how the fact that every time I happen to do a K-pop reading, especially within Blackpink, we just happen to have this child cards come up. And I always say that it's somebody that finds a very friendly bond with somebody that they feel like they can grow and nurture. They can kiki haha, enjoy each other's company, and be like little children, basically. Just hang out with each other, no strings attached, no type of matureness in the sense of having love like that, but just having more friends. That's how he feels about Jisoo, friends. It finally came to me. The child's going to represent a friendship card, because, You cannot build, I mean, they do say when you get into a relationship to find somebody that's like your best friend. But also at the same time, you want a bit more of a mature feeling to a relationship than, oh yeah, that's just my buddy, you know. You want them to be your buddy, but you also want them to be a lover too. And unless you're just into that, into little children, but that's beyond the point. That's literally not what we're talking about, I hope. But above the head, what they have is for both of them is looking out for themselves, really, because the tree card can represent the what do you call it? The tree of life represents you, literally your physical body. So because of that, Jisoo could be focusing on herself and her career. Like I said, she's just trying, they both are just trying to live their lives. She wants to maybe become an actress, and becoming an actress, you're going to have to really put in that love, emotion, and have that like raw feeling that's going to make people captivated. And if you're able to convey this on-screen chemistry, most people are going to want it to translate to real life, because really we all love love and searching for love. However, because of that, you also have, we as the audience have to keep in mind the fact that both of them are just doing their career, and maybe they did have something for each other, but also at the same time they found out maybe they couldn't work with each other in the sense like work in a relationship together. Remember, she dated his best friend, but also at the same time, I'm not sure if they were ever in a relationship either, if she just strictly dated his best friend and she and him, Jung Hae, are just were like friends and have always been friends, even when she was dating his best friend. But you can see that this is just taking the time and effort to grow and nurture their own talents in their respective fields, because they are just focused on themselves, the legacy they want to leave behind, and what kind of image and how do they want to stand out. You know, we want if she wants to get into acting, he's also an actor, so maybe they are both trying to find these acting roles that is really going to solidify, because we have the anchor here at the bottom, that's really going to solidify their relationship. See, there's so much not in a relationship or even thinking about each other that I'm talking about their work career. That's how much there's no love like that. It's platonic love, it's friend love, it's cute innocent love, you know, just loving everybody just to love everybody, not because I hate you or because I want something more. I just love you just because I have love within me kind of energy. And so because of that, they are trying to anchor down their career at this moment, and they're not really focused on each other or getting in a relationship with each other, is what I'm seeing. Hang on. Hey, Mom. I just need your help clarifying. All right. Yes. I'm definitely gonna have to be learning a new set, but currently, let me just run it down
you
for you.
Understand what I was trying to teach you?
Yes, I
You're
did.
going hard headed. What did I tell you?
Well, I just didn't want to practice something new on camera and then get lost.
This is what you're here for. They already know you're in training.
That's
Practice
true.
it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. To run you down real quick, the birds card came out, and this card symbolized Jisoo. Yes, this card has symbolized Jisoo, and I was talking about how she could be feeling stress at the moment and hearing the chatter of people wanting to know if she's in a relationship.
Or is she in the group? Just a whole lot of chatter about her, right? Distress.
Yes, distress. Mm-hmm. And even on the same side of her was the clouds, confusion.
Whenever the cloud is wherever, it's bad.
Yes, it's definitely
just
not
like
good.
If a coffin showed up.
Yes, well, the coffin showed up because
oh my God,
this wasn't for her, but somebody wanted a reading on Jisoo and this person named Jung Hae, and this.
It doesn't matter. It showed up in her reading.
Yes, that is true. Well, this represented the man I was reading.
It couldn't have represented a man. Remember, I tried to teach you this.
Yes, I do know.
Okay. So the only thing that you can say is a child by that, right?
Yes.
So therefore, let's keep it about the subject. Everything that we're asking is going to be about the subject.
Okay.
Okay. So what was the question that was asked that drew the coffin?
How does Jung Hae feel about Jisoo?
Who is John Hay? Is that a male?
Yes, that's a male.
So if you look at it, then it just seems to me that there is no relationship going on with them. Not only that, it's a lot of chirping, a lot of chatter about young people going around saying things that is totally not true.
Exactly what I
And
said.
if the child shows up, it just shows that she doesn't deal with it maturely. Maybe she's not being mature. Maybe she doesn't deal with it. Maybe she's hiding out. However, I see the clouds next to the birds, right? I don't know how you laying out your cards, so you got to help me with the layout.
Yes. I had picked two representative cards, one for Jisoo and one for the guy.
The reading is not about the guy. The reading is about Jisoo.
Okay.
And the guy is just a byproduct in it.
That's
so
true.
Let's go over it again.
Okay.
Put another card out. If there's a next, shuffle your cards.
Okay.
Put it down. Put it underneath for that so I can see it. Right now, shuffle your cards.
Okay.
And let's see whatever comes out. Then I will decide on if that card is about a reconciliation. Is it about they just friends? Because you're asking about it for her. They're not in a relationship.
No.
So we can't never assume anything.
Right. I mean, I wasn't picking up in a relationship so much so.
This is her relationship. They're not a couple, so it's no reading them together. Lay out a card.
I was really reading on their work relationship and got confused.
But you don't even know if it is, you're assuming.
Yes.
You will always have a problem if you read on assumptions. You got to read on a clear question, not assuming anything.
Right.
Okay. Don't keep doing that. Stop.
Well, I just picked out 3 cards.
I just needed one right now.
Oh.
Because I'm trying to replace this. What card came out?
This was the first card that came out.
So we do. So again, so it does confirm that there's male energy, right? So there is male energy going on. So if there was male energy, then the coffin showed up. So that lets you know that there is nothing. They are friends, no more than that. They know each other. Hey, we don't know. They could hang out. They could be buddies. It doesn't seem that way with a coffin.
Okay, fair enough. That is true.
And the coffin is in the middle, so the handle got to be going towards this way. So it ain't at the bottom. So it lets me know that there is nothing going on between those two at all.
I was picking up the same thing.
Okay.
So I was trying to focus on them acting.
Go ahead.
Okay.
You're assuming.
Yes, I am.
As long as you assume, you're going. That's why I said you got to be precise in your questions.
Yes, you are right. All right. Thank you for clarifying. Okay. So what we just had some help from Lady Crone. So because of that, what can I just gonna tuck those back in there and shuffle up these cards and put this man right above the coffin card. Let's not forget that the coffin's underneath the man, but that's how he feels about Jisoo. So because of that, like I said, I couldn't figure out what to read on them because there was no relationship, that I just focused on their careers respectively. So because of that, I'm a bit struggled right here and a bit stumped because I'm not able to really find any relationship on them. So for that, I guess the next question or the last question I could ask, because I will do as Lady Crone says, let's not make any assumptions over here. So the last thing I want to know is, will Jisoo, and who knows, maybe you guys know if Jisoo and Jung Hae are going to be working in working in another TV show together. But I just want to know how. Okay, my 2 questions is going to be, how does Jung Hae feel about Jisoo? Hopefully one card tells me the answer. Time. Too much time has passed since they like I said, it could be going back to that bro code. So much time has passed by that because she dated his best friend, and they literally, if they don't hang out with each other or even friends with each other, they made that TV series 3 years ago. So that was like time has gone by. It could have been just a work thing. They had great chemistry, so there's really nothing between them. And maybe there's also not going to be a work relationship with them. No, I definitely don't see it. Like I said, he's just focused on his home, on his career, and what he can bring to his own table and bring forth. Because like I said, this represents the legacy that they respectively each are going to leave behind by focusing on their work career and their acting to career. Or maybe Jisoo's going to go to singing or modeling. I'm not really sure what Jisoo's up to. Most people don't really talk about Jisoo. I think the last time I heard about Jisoo, she was like the ambassador for shit. No, I don't. I think Ginny was the ambassador of Chanel. You guys can tell me what Jisoo was the ambassador of. Was it Dior? It was one of those high-end companies. But let's see how Jisoo feels about Junghae, and then we'll wrap this up. Public attention. Like I said, they went public with their relationship, and you know what happens when idols make their relationship public and they're still part of a label, or just making the relationship public, period. You got so many admirers, and they do have a mixed fan base of both male and females. And the whole point of making sure that your idols are not dating is to keep up the fantasy that you one day are going to be able to have that chance with your idol. So the fact that she had went public that she was dating somebody, that affected their relationship. And because they are both public figures, going back to their acting, because I literally see no relationship, so it's really kind of hard to talk about this reading. But really, she went public. It was you could even say PR, because the fact that people want them in a relationship, that's how she feels. Like, you guys are putting a relationship on me just because we had this good chemistry together in a TV show. And then the star card, which goes back to just feeling confused and just feeling like needing not divine intervention. That's a little too drastic or like over the top, but just the fact that she really is trying to look for her place in the industry. That's what she's focusing on. Is it modeling? Is it acting? Is it singing? Like, what does Jisoo want to do with now that Jisoo's not a part of Blackpink? And I'm not sure if Jisoo's still acting or not. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this reading, and to whoever who asked about this, and I'm not sure if anybody else wanted to know about Jisoo and Junghae, but I could not find anything about them, nor about them being in a relationship, and nor did this reading tell me if they were even in a relationship. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this reading, and sunflowers.